What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's DeMarius Jackson, and in today's video I'm going to be going over what I consider to be the best multiple woodwind case, and it is the Manning custom woodwind case. So this in particular case I've had it for about 6 or 7 years, and it was kind of a way to alleviate me from having to carry a bunch of different cases around for my piccolo, flute, and clarinet. So before I got this case, I tried numerous things. I used to have one of those airline luggage, like small cases with a handle, and I would throw all 3 instruments in there and lug it around, but I found that to be a little bit cumbersome, and I don't know, it just got on my nerves after a while. Then I tried a big bag, and I didn't like doing that as well. The best protection I would honestly say for any instrument is in the actual case it came in. Most of the time. I'll elaborate on that in a second. But like I said, I got tired of lugging all those instruments around, and I did a little bit of searching, and 2 companies came to mind. The first one I believe was Wiseman. Actually, my mentor and teacher up in Virginia Beach, he uses these cases. I believe a lot of his are like cylinder shape. And he loves them. He swears by them. It was a little bit expensive, and I think at the time it took forever for shipping because I want to say it's UK based, but I could be wrong. And then the other company that came to mind on my search was Manning Custom Woodwinds. And I think he's making like instruments and all kinds of things now, but also I'll leave a link somewhere down there in the description where you can look up his company. But anyway, I contacted him via email. His name is Mike Manning, and actually I had to send pictures of my instruments, which I actually appreciate because that's, you know, it's custom that way. But I sent pictures and actual model numbers of all of my instruments, and this is what he came back with. So before I open this up and we take a look at it, there's a couple of things, 2 things that come to mind when it comes to protective cases and what I'm looking for in a good case. Number one thing for me is the outside shell, and so that's what's going to protect it the most. I used to have, what is the name of that case? Walt Johnson, that's the name of it. I used to have a Walt Johnson case for my Mark VI way back in the day, and I loved that case. It had a fiberglass shell, and this actual Manning case, it has a fiberglass shell as well. And after 6 years, I can honestly say this has protected the instrument the most. I don't carry it just like this. Number one, it doesn't have a handle. That's one of the cons. But anyway, fiberglass shell, the outside. If we take a look at some of my other instrument cases, here I have the case for my Yamaha that I just bought, and as you can see, it's in pristine condition for being about 30, almost 40 years old. And if you take a look at the case for my old Eastman, you can see now this is like a luxury case. It has the backpack straps and all this other stuff, but it is not fiberglass as well. Or maybe it is underneath, but it feels really soft. It's like a soft case to me. And the number 2 thing that I look for, since we're on the Eastman case, is the actual play of the instrument. So when I say play, I'm talking about the actual amount of movement that the instrument can do in the case. And if you look at the Eastman case, there is a lot of movement. I do not like that at all. The instrument moves around quite a bit, as well as the neck. So I like more of a secure fit. If you look at my Yamaha case here I have for my saxophone, it's actually a secure fit. So that brings everything back around to the Manning case. So let's go ahead and take a look at that one. And here it is. So what I love about this case is that the instrument barely moves around at all. Everything is pretty tight and secure within the case. I am actually missing the piccolo. I feel horrible for that. I left it in my office, but the piccolo goes in as one complete piece, which actually is a pro and a con because, you know, it can compress the cork a little bit, and you can have issues with the cork going into the body of the piccolo. I haven't had a lot of issues. I try to take it apart as much as I can. If you look at the flute section here, it's nice and tight, as well as the clarinet. I have a section for the barrel. Each individual section secures the instrument very, very well. And so now we get to the actual cost. Now, I know I mentioned that the Wiseman case was expensive. For me, most people, I would probably say it's a little bit pricey, but I'm willing to spend, you know, a little bit of extra money for the protection of, you know, thousands of dollars of instruments. So this Mike Manning case, I believe it cost me, and I hate to say it, I can't remember, but I know it was somewhere between $500 and $600. Once again, that was about 6 or 7 years ago. You know, inflation, who knows what it costs now. You can contact them and see yourself. I also love the fact that he makes custom cases. So if you don't play piccolo, or if you have no need for a piccolo case, you can actually get a flute and a clarinet, or you can get, you know, a flute, alto flute, and piccolo. There's probably like millions of combinations that he can probably put together for you. And the other thing I'll say about this case is, one, with it not having a handle, I found that a little bit weird, but the workaround for it is I just bought an Altieri double clarinet case. So it looks like this. And Lifesaver, it has the big pockets. You can fit the big folders of music in there. It has this nice little interior. I don't live anywhere near where it's cold, but it will protect your instrument from the elements. Let me show you what it looks like with the whole thing in there. And here we have it. It almost, I would say, fits perfectly. Hopefully I can finagle this. Unzip. A little bit of space in there. Get to your gig. Take this bad boy out. Set it to the side. And there you have it. Nice and compact. Alright. Pretty good size. Literally, this thing is only a slightly bigger than an actual clarinet case. And you can tell that it has a little bit of, you know, it bows out a little bit here at the end. But nice and compact. You know what? Let me get a tape measure and get some measurements so you can get a better feel for the size of this thing. All right, so this case is, we're gonna do roughly about 15.5 inches long and about 10.5 inches wide. And if you look at it, it's really, really thin. I'll get a rough measurement for that. Probably about 3 inches that way. And so there you have it. Just a very, very quick review of this Mike Manning custom case. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment box. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video. Out.